Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, as it means you don't miss out on any of the videos I do. And to all those who have subscribed, welcome. I hope you enjoyed this video and all the future videos I do. Now, for this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to let you know how I organize my own digital media. So, first and foremost, I am mostly a physical media guy. You can see right behind me all the stuff I've got, and plus I've got some more to the left of me. I just love collecting my favorite movies and displaying things in my little library. And, I also love streaming services, but they definitely have some drawbacks. For one thing, aside from their own exclusive shows and movies that will never get removed, the other stuff that they do have, things can just get added and removed just seemingly at random, and sometimes my favorite movies may not be on a particular platform. And I've also got a wide variety of tastes, and what they tend to offer are things that is a little bit more on the mainstream side, and anything that is classic or older tends to be stuff that just about everyone's already seen. And when it comes to TV shows, sometimes they'll just decide to remove an episode. Good example is on Disney Plus, they removed the Michael Jackson episode, so you can't access it right there. I also love extras, and while the streaming platforms have started to put on extras like iTunes, Google Play, Disney Plus, they don't actually have all the extras from all the previous releases. In fact, some of the DVDs don't even have all the extras from the Laserdiscs releases that were before that. Now, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't love the convenience of streaming. One of the things I do before I go to bed, I just like to get the iPad and just put something on and just get myself tired and go to sleep. But sometimes I want to watch some of my stuff, and well, it's kind of awkward. I don't really want to get out of my nice warm bed and get the TV on, put a disc on, wake up my kids, that sort of thing. So there's definitely a great convenience about streaming services. So I was thinking, how do I combine my love of the media I've got and with the convenience of streaming services? And so I've decided to go with getting a media server. I've chosen Plex, though there are plenty of other solutions out there. And I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys how my actual collection looks in the digital world. So sit back, relax, enjoy this unscripted affair journey inside my computer, and I'll see you on the other side. So when you start up Plex, obviously this is not my content here, but one of the perks of getting Plex is that you can get all this extra stuff recommended to you. I personally don't use it, but who knows? Maybe one day I'll have a look at it. So looking to the left here, you've got my my libraries that have all been set up. Obviously, everyone's going to have different opinions of how I've set it up, but if you get your own media server, you can obviously do it how you wish. So you've got TV, and then you've got movies. So we'll just pick animation TV shows for the time being, and it actually shows up some of the animated TV shows I have. So we'll go into one of my favorites, Batman. So right away you can see it's all been divided up. You got the specials, which of course are the two movies. Then you can even from up here go to the different seasons. Now one interesting quirk about Plex is some of the shows like Batman the animated series, when they were first released, it was released in a really weird order, and that's how it matches to the database as opposed to the better way. So you got Cat in the Claw Part 1 over here, and then Part 2 is down here, so it's a bit weird that way. But at least when you go into it, so let's just say we want to watch this episode, it's going to tell you that this is a rip from my Blu-ray set, tells you what about it, who directed it, and so on. So it's a pretty cool little feature though. And you can down here you can even see some of the actors who are in it, and you can even if you wanted to narrow it down that you want to watch something with John Glover, you can just click into him and it'll tell you, okay, John Glover was featured in this particular show. So there you go. So let's go back to TV shows. And yes, there's no real limit. I mean, when it comes to, say, The Simpsons, well, they've got quite a bit, as you can see here. Yes, I still follow The Simpsons. The episodes aren't that bad, in my opinion. They're more hit and miss. Definitely not as good as the originals, of course, but I don't know. I don't think they're that bad anyway, but they're all here anyway, which is pretty cool. So now, if you want to look at the main stuff like Disney animated movies, so right away you can see what's not on this one right here, what's not on Disney Plus. So I managed to find a decent copy of this, and yeah, it tells you who was in it. And here's probably a better example. Like Bobby Driscoll was in, of course, Peter Pan and Melody Time. So see how it shows what he was in, if you want to filter that, which is pretty cool. So I put here, I'm probably going to end up making a separate documentary series and moving The Boys, which I highly recommend. Dream On Silly Dream is another good one here. But yeah, it's all here, which is pretty cool. And one of the interesting features of Plex, if you look at, say, Fantasia, it gives you all the information that you need from Fantasia, but let's just say you want to have a different poster. If you want the original one, you can change it to this if you wanted to, or this. So let's say I change it to that. And then there you go. You can actually do that. And you can even upload your very own covers, which is pretty cool. I know that there's like a DVD collection. I know in Australia there is. I don't know if it's in America or not, but they actually are all numbered, and I think having those covers would be pretty cool, having everything done. But there's Melody Time. I think it's either Melody Time or Make My Music. One of those two are not in Disney Plus right now, so there you go. And I also highly recommend Waking Sleeping Beauty and Walton El Grupo. They're pretty cool as well. Now, as for the shorts, so if we look at say the Disney shorts. Now, I've personally done it by release date because I like to see them all in order. So you can see that I've got quite a few. Pretty much everything that's released on the Disney Treasures I have. Stuff like this that was for some reason missed. Susie the Little Blue Coupe is here as well. I've managed to track that down. I think I had Freeway Phobia. Track that down as well. Yep, Freeway Troubles, Freeway Phobia. I think I'm missing just the Scrooge McDuck and Money, so I got to really track a copy of that down. So, Roger Rabbit, John Henry. So it's a good way to organize the collection without having to change discs all the time. And, especially if you want to watch them all in order. So I've even got all the way down here. I don't know how I'm going to rearrange these two, but I'll figure it out. But you got Oswald's down here, the original, Mickey Mouse's, all in release order, and you can even change it too. It doesn't have to be by release order. You can do it by title if you just want ABC, like that. They'll show up like that, and you can even filter it as well. And I'll do that once I get to the Looney Tunes. See, I've even got Studio Ghibli, which I absolutely adore. I love their movies. Not the biggest collection, but hey, it's there. Laurel and Hardy, Looney Tunes, which I'll go back in just a sec. But Pixar, I decided with Pixar, because the library's not that big, I put all the long and short movies together, because why not? Popeye, all here as well. When it comes to something that's come ripped from a disc, it'll show you 480p. But then anything from a Blu-ray, just like we're on our way to Rio, it's going to show it as 1080p right there. Yeah, and I'm also a huge Three Stooges fan, so all the DVDs, it's all there. See, some of these I might have to even change the poster, but sometimes they're not available, so that's something you might need to track down. Maybe get them all looking more uniform, but that's fine. Tom and Jerry, all here as well in release order. And I like how the Gene Deitch ones have all got the same type of cover. That's like from that DVD set, which is pretty cool. So now we'll go on to, I mean, even my main movies, actually, before I go Looney Tunes, you know, all sorts of movies. I've got a varied taste, so I just, you know, I like my Spielberg, Tim Burton, Woody Allen. So all sorts of stuff here, and this is not even all my collection as well. I'm slowly adding to it, but it's definitely gonna take some time. But let's go Looney Tunes. So with Looney Tunes, you know, as you know, it's at least 1,000 of them, and this server handles that with no problem. So you can see here all of the Boscos and Buddies, and you can see roughly where I'm up to. See, the unplayed ones will have this triangle, so it looks like the next commentary I need to do will be the Country Mouse at the time of this recording. So there it is there, but I've been following each one in order, sort of like this, and then that's 1936. So really, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to go for 1935 at the time of this recording. So there you go. But I'll show you something else that's pretty cool about this. So let's just say you want to watch Chuck Jones. Okay, you just want to, for whatever reason, you just want to filter it. So you go here. If you have stuff in HDR, or if you just want to have the unplayed stuff, you can actually filter it so that only the unplayed stuff would show up. But let's say you're in the Chuck Jones mood. So this gives you a list of all the directors available in this particular library. So, alright, so let's go Chuck Jones. So here they are. See? Even stuff that he's only had a little bit of involvement in, like with, I think, some of the shorts on this one, that would show up as well. Spaced Up Bunny, Busting Out All Over. You know, the true masterpieces, right? Oh, not really. But anyway. So, and then you got this nice big gap here from Carnival of the Animals from, I think these 3 were from that failed TV pilot. But anyway, I'll definitely take a look at those in a few years' time once I reach up to it. So as you can see, if you feel like, if you're just in a Chuck Jones mood and you just want to do a little bit of a Chuck Jones marathon, you could filter it like this. You can even randomize it really by shuffle. If you don't know what to watch and you feel like watching just any Chuck Jones cartoon, no matter what, click shuffle, it'll show up. With my luck, it'll probably show my least favorite Chuck Jones one, which is, of course, Angel Puss. I mean, this one was just absolutely awful, and it's got an interesting history, so I can't wait to talk about that one once I reach up to it. But see, and then we can clear the filter and start again. So let's go back in here. So let's just say, okay, we're in a Tashlin mood today, because he didn't do as much, but holy smoke, the few that he did end up doing, simply amazing. And yes, I know I said holy smoke. There's holy smoke there. but yeah, that's this is how I arrange it, and just keeps everything intact. So what I do is, whenever I get a new file, whether I rip a new Blu-ray or DVD or screen capture, whatever I do, I would name it the particular title. So let's say, Flying Circus. Okay, so Flying Circus, I will put in brackets in the file name 1968. And then you can add at the end like a dash, and you can also give it extra information. So let's say I had Flying Circus in HD. I might want to make a little note there saying it's a HD copy versus what I had before. But it's also useful, like in movies, say Terminator 2, how it's got the theatrical cut, an extended cut, and then a even more extended cut, or something like that. So there's 3 cuts. So you could have 3 Terminator 2 files, where one you can put dash theatrical, another one slash director's cut, then the third one slash extended director's cut, or whatever you want to call it. And then what'll happen is, like up here, you'll get like a 3 will say that there's 3 files with the same name. So in this case, I've got copies of the 3D version of these 3, plus I think I had a third version, or that's like full screen or something. I forgot with these particular ones. I know with this one I got a 3D copy and a normal one, so that's why it's got the 2 there. Now if I wanted to, I can actually split this into 2 and then manually change the names, so one shows normal, one shows 3D. So the choice is yours basically with this. And you can also even view things if you want to not do it like a grid, you can do it like a list. So it'll show you everything in just a little boring little list right there, along with the duration and all that. Or you can do it like summary view, where it's sort of the best of both. But for a library as big as Looney Tunes, I find the grid view is probably the best. It's still pretty good, and because it's such a big library, if you can always even narrow it down to even like just the year. So if I just want to do 1935, which is what I'm working on right now, there you go. It just shows it up. So that means that the server doesn't have to load every single cartoon when I just want to look at this particular year. Yep, and a fine year it is. Can't wait till I finally reach this one. Have a guess why, huh? So I'll show you before I reappear on camera. I'll show you also just a few things I've done. See, this one, this should be in a different section as well, but I sort of put here any of the odds and ends, like the other MGM cartoons. See, you can even put MGM maybe with Tom and Jerry if you wanted to, and sort of make it like an MGM library instead. Maybe I'll do that. I've also put in some of the Osamu Tetsuya stuff in here as well. And, it's got Droopies, it's got UPA, so this one's like a mixed bag of like the other stuff. But again, you can always change things over however you want to organize things, which is pretty cool, I think. The cool thing I actually forgot to mention when I recorded the previous section is our extras and how they look. So to give you an example, let's go with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because that one's got a small library, just to give you an idea. So of course this is from the Blu-ray. Got all the actors here, and then here you got the trailer, before and after, behind the ears, and you can name all of these particular extras in the actual file name. So you would put in a folder where it says Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and of course the year, which is 1988. And then within the folder you would have the movie file itself. You would write Who Framed Roger Rabbit 1988, and then within that folder, you'd put all these other files, and then you'd write what they actually are. So this is the pighead scene here, so you'd write deleted scene, and then you'd put dash behind the scenes. And there are different tags that you can add at the end, and which will make this show up with whatever subtitle you want. I think there's also other things like trailers, so like trailer, behind the scenes. I forgot what the others are, but generally speaking, I do behind the scenes. And I'm still on track to try and collect all the different extras. But another one, probably a good one that I've just about completed, except for whatever's on the Laserdisc, is Cinderella. So of course this is from the Blu-ray, which I've got to find a better copy of the movie. To be quite frank, I'm not happy with the restoration that was on the Blu-ray for that. But anyway, it's just in there for now. And then you got all this different extras, and then you can go scroll to the next page, radio excerpts and all kinds of stuff. Another good one is whoops, like pushing the wrong buttons. So another good one would be it's like Sleeping Beauty. Actually no, Pinocchio. We'll go Pinocchio because I did that one. So yeah, you've got the deleted scenes, all of them put together, the making of, the trailer, and this is all from the Platinum editions and stuff. I think I still need to add the 1 or 2 things from the newest signature release, but generally speaking, it's pretty good. It's pretty complete. So looking down here, I mean, some of the lesser releases, not the movie, I actually think this is a decent movie, but some of the lesser releases have lesser stuff, so of course, you just got the 2 there. So this is a good way to put all your extras together from a variety of sources. You know, all the DVD releases, Blu-ray releases, even stuff you might find on YouTube, some rare interviews, that sort of stuff that, for whatever reason, they probably just weren't able to clear to put on the disc, or they couldn't be bothered, or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, that's the whole journey inside Plex. So now it's time to pop out of the computer and talk some more. So that was a look at my Plex server, and like I said, it's not the only solution on the market, but they all largely work the same way, and they all pretty much would look the same way. Well, at least the good ones. And you know, this is what it looks like on my phone here. It's a bit tricky there, but as you can see, if I can scroll up, and it shows all the Looney Tunes videos on that. So yeah, and it largely looks the same way on the iPad, the Apple TV, or and you can even project it out to like a Chromecast and whatever you want, as long as you've got the server on your computer, and as long as that computer stays on or in sleep mode in my case, then it works pretty well. And as long as you've got a decent computer, which my one, even though it's 5 years old, it's still okay, does the job. You can even have multiple people watching at the same time. Just one drawback is if I need to work on the computer and then other people want to use the Plex server, it can be a bit taxing on it. But one solution around that is to buy yourself a dedicated server computer and just have that only for Plex and nothing else. But obviously there's plenty of choices there that you can take. Now, I know what you're thinking as well. With HBO Max in the US now showing a lot of the Looney Tunes with heaps more to come, and Disney Plus showing a lot of the stuff now, why do I still need a Plex server? Now, I mean, first of all, I can't get HBO Max in Australia. Well, officially anyway. We can try. I can be a bit cheeky and get around that. And Disney Plus is good for the mainstream stuff. So if you want to watch Snow White, there it is. If you want to watch Moana, there it is. So it's all there. But doesn't have Song of the South, doesn't have So Dear to My Heart, doesn't have Make Mine Music. HBO Max probably won't even have the Censored 11 cartoons either. And I'm not saying they should be on those platforms, because those platforms are accessed by the general public, who may not necessarily be able to watch such films in their proper context. That's why having my own server with all sorts of stuff like the Censored 11, Song of the South, and stuff that can be available to me if I need to watch it for whatever reason, it's definitely a preferable thing to do. And I can organize everything my own way. I don't have to swap discs, and that's preferable to when I'm watching all the animated shorts, because if I'm trying to watch stuff from a particular director or animator or whatever, I don't have to swap around discs all the time. I mean, okay, hashtag first world problems, but hey, if I can solve that problem, why not? So, yeah, I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you have a similar setup? Are you thinking of doing something like this? I mean, let me know in the comments below. I'm also on social media, so you can even shoot me a message there. And if you have any questions about what I do, yeah, feel free to ask, and I'm more than happy to help. And if you want me to do more content like this, let me know. The previous time I was on camera doing the 100th commentary, I got a lot of very positive results. People seem to like that, and I got a few messages saying that I did pretty well on camera, but I would say I still need a bit of practice on it. But let me know what you think. Like the video if you do like it. And yeah, until next time, guys, take care.